Donald Trump is attacking Hillary Clinton in a new ad. It portrays Clinton as weak on major foreign policy issues. Now, the ad also shows Russian President Vladimir Putin wrestling a man to the ground. The Kremlin lashed out against the ad, saying it demonizes Russia. So a Kremlin spokesperson told reporters, quote, "I saw this clip. I do not know for sure if President Vladimir Putin saw it, but our attitude is negative." And that is, of course, the Kremlin statement to reporters. Trump's senior policy advisor, Stephen Miller, back with me now. So, Stephen, are you surprised that a Kremlin spokesperson commented on an American campaign ad?
Not really. I guess people will comment on anything if you give them the chance. But the ad really shows just how easily Donald Trump is going to be able to take apart Hillary Clinton in a general election. She is an incredibly weak candidate. She has a failed record as Secretary of State that you could just pick apart into a million pieces, and Donald Trump is going to win in a crushing landslide in the general election. And also,
Stephen, I just want to stop you there because both Hillary Clinton, and Donald Trump have a lot of groundswell support. They both each have very high negatives, more per candidate per party than any other candidate.
Well, Donald Trump's been focused right now on a primary where he's been getting attacked by, at the beginning there was, 18 people? You almost needed to get, I think we had, ran out of podium space on the stage. I mean, remember those early debates? It took 15 seconds for the camera to pan from the left to the right. It took like 15 seconds to get to the end of the debate stage. So you've been attacked by 16, 17 people for a few months. It's going to have an effect, but in the general election, there's going to be a huge amount of support for Donald Trump on the issues. Hillary Clinton, remember, she is one of the people who helped put together Obama's terrible trade deal, the Trans-Pacific Partnership, and she praised it 50 times. We are going to go into Michigan, Ohio, Pennsylvania, and we are going to win working-class voters who are being crushed by these trade deals.
Okay, but Stephen, since you're talking trade, there are a lot of people who say Donald Trump's plan, this 45% tax, attacking China for currency manipulation, that those moves are not realistic either.
If China is engaged in trade cheating, we have two options: unilateral surrender or protect our economic interests. We've been trying. We've been executing unilateral surrender. We've been doing that really since 1997.
So you're saying those comments are what he has said in other contexts, they are a starting point for negotiation.
Right. And what I'm saying, though, is we've tried unilateral surrender. And what happened? We wiped out the middle class. And you know who was pushing that? Ted Cruz, who has fought against our efforts to combat China on currency manipulation. If we don't stand up to China, China is going to continue robbing us of our jobs, and we won't even have a middle class left. So you vote for Hillary Clinton or you vote for Ted Cruz, you're going to get more offshoring to China.
So, Stephen, talking about foreign policy expertise, some high-ranking officials are concerned about Donald Trump's lack of specific expertise. In fact, former NSA Director Michael Hayden spoke about it this morning on Fox and Friends.
Donald Trump was asked that very question, who are you talking to on foreign policy? And he says, I think he was kidding. He talks to himself.
Oh, I don't think he was kidding.
No, okay.
So, Stephen, what if Donald Trump begins to not necessarily say, hey, here's who I'm going to pick for my cabinet, but just begins to be seen speaking with people that are recognized as military experts, as foreign policy experts? Is he waiting too long to talk about his cabinet?
No, well, not at all. I mean, he's already named the chairman of his Foreign Policy Council, my former boss, U.S. Senator Jeff Sessions, who is one of the leading lights in Washington, D.C. on foreign policy. He's the chairman of the Strategic Forces Subcommittee. He's been on the Armed Services Committee for 20 years. And Jeff Sessions is putting together a team as we speak. But I want to answer bigger picture if I have a second.
Sure.
It is amazing to me that you have all the people who've made all the wrong decisions lecturing us about how we have to act on foreign policy. We have had a disastrous foreign policy. Our intervention in Iraq, our intervention in Libya, whatever we've been doing in Syria and the refugee crisis, everything that could have gone wrong has gone wrong. And Donald Trump has always been on the right side of these conflicts over time. And so the American people have to ask themselves, do they want another knee-jerk, interventionist, go to war, intervene, build a nation, build a democracy? Or do they want someone whose core instinct is caution, prudence, examine the facts, don't rush into a foreign country to build a new democracy? Well, the second option is Donald Trump. Donald Trump has been consistent on the issues of putting America's interests first in foreign policy and not rushing into nation building. And so whether it's economic policy, whether it's immigration policy, whether it's foreign policy, we keep getting lectures from people who've wiped out the middle class, sent our manufacturing jobs overseas, left our border wide open, and cost us hundreds, trillions of dollars in these failed foreign ventures.
Resisting the nation building, as you say, also talking about immigration and then talking about protecting Social Security and Medicare. Those, at the end of the day, are what most Republican voters care about. And to your point, he is strong on all of those issues. Stephen, we thank you so much for the time.
Hey, thank you.